morning, classmates, and to our professor, Mrs. Nerissa Malco Beatriz. I am Mrs. Warlita Tabornal of Tabornal Learning Center. My topic is about growth and development. But before discussing my topic, there are two important words we need to know: the quantitative change and the qualitative change. Quantitative change, ito yung mga napapansin natin sa tao physically by the use of our eyes. Example, yung pagtangkad ng isang bata, pagtaba ng isang bata, at iba pa. While the qualitative change, these are observed through the behavior of the child, like their emotions. So our general objective is, by the end of this lecture, students will be able to discuss growth and development of children. And our specific objectives are, by the end of this lecture, the student will be able to define growth and development, identify the importance of growth and development, mention the principles of growth and development, factors that influence the growth and development, developmental age periods, physical development milestones. So let us define what is growth. Growth refers to an increase in physical size of the whole body or any of its parts. It is simply a quantitative change in the child's body. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, quantitative na nakikita siya by the use of our eyes. Then it can be measured in kilograms, pounds, meters, inches, and etc. So what is physical growth? Physical growth refers to the increase in height and weight and other body changes that happen as kids mature. Hair grows, teeth come in, come out, and come in again. And eventually puberty hits. It's all part of the growth process. So what is development? Development refers to a progressive increase in skill and capacity of function. It is the qualitative change in child's functioning. Ito na rin yung sabi ko kanina, na-observe natin siya through the behavior of the child. It can be measured through co-observation. So physical development refers to the advancement and refinements of motor skills or children's abilities to use and control their bodies. It relates to the growth and skill development of the body, including the brain, muscles, and senses. It also refers to the child's ability to move, coordinate, and control their body. This development can be broken up into two categories. Number 1, gross motor skills, and number 2, fine motor skill. So first we're going to discuss the motor skill. The motor skill, gross motor skill, are the abilities usually acquired during childhood as part of child's motor learning. By the time they reach 2 years old, almost all children can stand up, walk, and run, and etc. It involves the large muscles of the arms, legs, and torso. Torso, ito yung trunk na katawan, torso. Examples are catching a ball, balancing, climbing, jumping on trampoline, playing tag, running races. Fine motor skills are the ability to make movements using the small muscles in our hands and wrist. Examples: dialing the phone, turning doorknobs, keys, and locks, putting a plug into a socket, buttoning and unbuttoning clothes, opening and closing zippers, fastening snaps and buckles. So what are the importance of physical development? Physical activities promotes healthy growth and development. It helps build a healthier body composition, stronger bones, and muscles. Children who have higher levels of physical activity during their childhood are likely to be more active even if they mature. This is important for better health and well-being. So let us know the principles of growth and development. Development is a continuous process from conception to maturity. So, from baby hanggang sa pagtanda na siya. Then, development depends on the maturation and myelination of the nervous system. The sequence of development is the same for all children, but the rate of development varies from child to child. So, depende po yan sa bata. Ang pagde-develop, depende po yan sa bata. So, development follows a direction and a uniform pattern. So, from baby, dire-diretso na siya hanggang sa pagtanda niya. So, uniform pattern siya. Development proceeds from general to specific responses. Principles of independence of system. Development is cumulative. So, ma-observe natin dito, every year, nag-i-increase yung height ng bata. So, development is a result of interaction of maturation and learning. Development is the product of contribution of heredity and environment. Later, we will discuss the heredity and environment. So, there are 10 factors that influence the growth and development of a child. Number 1 is the heredity. Heredity is the transmission of physical characteristics from parents to children through their genes. Examples here are physical appearance such as height, weight, body structure, color of the eyes, texture of the hair, and even intelligence and aptitudes. Ito yung mapapansin natin yung mga tao na sasabihin, ang tangkad naman ng batang yan. Siyempre nga siyempre po, kaya matangkad yung bata kasi yung tatay niya siguro matangkad, yung mother niya, gano'n. So, mayroon namang blue-eyed ng mga bata. So, nagmana rin yun sa genes ng magulang. May mga matatalino, nagmana rin yun sa mga magulang. So, dito na i-inherit nila. So, dito rin, diseases and conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and etc. So, dito rin mai-inherit din natin sa mga magulang natin, diabetes. So, pag pupunta tayo sa isang doktor, so magkakaroon tayo ng history, tatanungin tayo ng history, family history. Ano yung mama mo? May diabetic ba? Diabetic ba siya? May diabetes ba siya? Ganon. Or may sakit ba siya sa puso? So, doon, based sa family history, malalaman ng mga doctors kung namamana natin sa mga magulang natin ang sakit natin. Then, number 2 is the environment. It plays a critical role in development of children, and it represents the sum total of physical and psychological stimulation of child's receive. Then number 3 is the sex. Boys and girls grow in different ways, especially nearing puberty. Boys tend to be taller and physically strong. However, girls tend to be mature faster than adolescents. So, number 4 is the exercise and health. Hindi naman ibig sabihin pag sinabing exercise, kailangan na mag-gym. So, this exercise refers to the normal playtime on sports activities which help the body gain an increase in muscular strength and put on bone mass. Hormones, number 5, hormones belong to the endocrine system and influence the various functions of our body. Number 6, this is very important for the growth and development, nutrition. Nutrition is the critical factor of growth as everything the body needs to build and repair itself comes from the food we eat. As you can observe, magkakaroon talaga ng, lalo na pag malnourished ang bata, yung mga pagkain ng bata, kulang-kulang talaga. So, ito ay nakaka-apekto talaga ng growth and development ng bata. So, dapat ang bata magkakaroon ng balanced diet like that is rich in vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and essential for the development of the brain and body. Number 7, familial influence. Families have the most profound impact in nurturing a child and determining the ways in which they develop psychologically and socially. Number 8, geographical influences. Where you live is also a great influence on how children turn out to be. So yung bata, lumaki sa lugar na sa mga magulang na mahilig magmura, mahilig sa mga mannerism na hindi maganda sa bata. So magkakaroon talaga ng yun ang magiging epekto sa bata yon. Kung ano yung nakikita niya as well as the environment, ganun din dito sa geographical influences. So, socioeconomic status. The socioeconomic status of the family determines the quality of the opportunity of child gets. Studying in better school are more expensive definitely has benefits in the long run. Well-off families can offer better learning to their children compared to children from poor families. Siyempre, yung mga poor families kasi naghahanap buhay pa. So, hindi nila mabigay yung needs talaga ng mga bata. So, there is always a difference ng mga magulang sa mga bata na kaya ng mga magulang isend sa mga magagandang schools. And number 10, learning and reinforcement. Learning is defined. It involves much more than schooling. It is also concerned with building the child up mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and socially, so they can operate as healthy, functional individuals in the society. This is where the development of the mind takes place and the child can gain some maturity. While the reinforcement is a component of learning, where an activity or exercise is repeated and refined to solidify the lesson learned. So example here are in learning, playing an instrument. So reinforcement, lesson that is taught has to be repeated until the right results are obtained. So here are the laws of growth. Growth and development in children is a continuous and orderly process. Growth pattern of individual is unique. Different patterns in the body grow at different rates. Developmental age period. Infancy, neonate from birth to 1 month. Infancy, 1 month to 1 year. Early childhood, toddler, 1 to 3 years old. Preschool, 3 to 6 years old. So, dito tayo didiin since mga educator tayo. So, may mga schools, 3 years old, 2 years old, may mga tumatanggap na sila ng mga enrollees. So, in my case, hindi po ako tumatanggap ng ganung enrollees kasi una-una kawawa yung mga teachers, mag-aalaga lang sila. So, may mga magulang po kasi nag-i-insist kasi una-una, yung mga magulang nag-i-insist, well-off kasi sila. Kaya nilang mag-spend ng money. So, kami po, may mga schools po, may toddler sila, may nursery 1, nursery 2, kinder 1, kinder 2, preschool bago mag-grade 1. Which is, kung tutuusin, hindi naman siya advisable, di ba po? Alam naman natin yung mga teachers kasi ang nai-enroll lang po talaga natin sa LIS is 5 years old, kinder. So, karamihan po talaga gusto lang magkaroon ng advanced learning ang mga bata. Siguro, para siguro advanced na rin yung alam ng mga bata para pagpasok siguro. Gusto ng mga magulang na mas magaling na sa kaklase nila, which is good naman. So, depende po yung sa magulang, lalo na po kung capable naman po siya magbayad. So, ako po talaga, ang ina-advise ko lang is 4 years old. So, 4 years old, at the age of before August 31, dapat 4 years old na siya. So, that was before COVID-19. Di po ba? Kasi nag-move na tayo, nag-move na yung klase natin. Naging mayroon ng lalo na last year, naging October. Diba? So, from June, naging October. So, pag before COVID, kasi ang June, pag enrollment ng June, dapat ang bata, before August 31, dapat 4 years old na siya for nursery. Which is, kinaklarify ko din, hindi pa rin siya may enrolled sa LIS. So, kinder, so we will be-base na po natin sa kinder. So, kinder, pag June ang pasukan, so dapat August 31 is 5 years old na siya. Ngayon po, since nag-move tayo, mayroong nag-open ng September, nung mag-COVID, may nag-open ng September, may nag-open ng October. So, dapat ang kinder, dapat ang cut-off bracket ng age is October 31, dapat mayroon na, nasa 5 years old na po ang bata. So, kinder siya before October 31, 5 years old na siya, para pagpatak ng 6 years old, grade 1 na siya. So, middle childhood, stage, school age, 6 to 12 years old. Ito na yung grade 1 na siya, dito 6 years old. Late childhood, 13 to 18 years approximately. So, physical development milestones, infant to toddler. So, isa-isahin natin. From 2 months, 2 months ang bata, hold head up with support, begins to push up when lying on tummy, makes smoother movements with arms and legs. Sa 4 months naman, holds head steadily without support, pushes down on legs when feet are on a hard surface, rolls over from tummy to back, holds and shakes toys, swings and dangling toys, brings hands to mouth, pushes up to elbows when lying to tummy. 6 months old, rolls over both from stomach to back and from back to stomach. Begins to sit with the support. Support weight on legs when standing and might bounce. Rolls back and forth, sometimes crawls backward before moving forward. 9 months, crawls, sits without support, moves into sitting position with support, stands, holding on to adult or furniture for support, pulls to stand. 1 year old, moves into sitting position without support, pulls up to stand and walks alone while holding onto furniture, takes few steps without support of adult or furniture, stands alone. 18 months old, walks alone, runs, pulls toys while walking, helps undress self, so kaya na niyang magtanggal ng damit, drinks from a cup, kaya na uminom sa baso, eats with spoon. Siyempre, mayroon pa rin matatapon. Eats with spoon, nakakaya na rin niya kumain mag-isa. Then, 2 years old, begins to run. Dito, babantayan na talaga natin ang bata. Actually, before 2 years old, lalong-lalo na ngayon mga kabataan, masyado ng advance. Dito nga, pag titingnan natin yung 2 months dito, saka lang gagalaw ulo, ginagalaw ang ulo. Pero usually, pagkasilang pa lang, makikita mo na kaagad yung development niya. Malakas na ang ulo. Gumagalaw niya. So, dito, 2 years old, begins to run, climbs onto down and from furniture without support, walks up and down stairs, starts while holding on the support, throws ball over hand, draws or copies straight lines and circles, stands on tiptoes, kicks a ball. So, naglalaro na. Medyo makulit-kulit ng bata dito, kaya ingat-ingat na tayo mga magulang. So the summary of my report is that the physical growth is divided into 2 areas, growth and development. Growth is the physical changes of the increase in size, height, and weight. Development is how children gain control over their physical actions to do complicated and difficulties more skillfully and easily. Difference between physical growth and physical development. Growth is more of physical measurement, while development is something that can't be measured in the same way. So there are 7 stages of human moves through during his or her lifespan. Number 1, infancy, birth to 2 years old. Number 2, early childhood, 3 to 8 years old. Number 3, childhood, 9 to 11 years old. Number 4, adolescence, 12 to 18 years old. And number 5, early adulthood, approximately ages from 20 to 40 years old. Middle adulthood, number 6, approximately 40 to 65 years old. And old age, approximately 60 to 65 years old, and has dual definition. It is the last stage of life processes of an individual, and it is an age group of generation comprising a segment of the oldest members of the population. So let me read the reflection. Physical development is one domain of development. It relates to the changes, growth, and skill development of the body, including the brain, muscles, and senses. Physical development is evident primarily in gross motor and fine motor skills. These skills are essential to children's overall health and wellness. Gross motor skills involves the use of large muscles in the legs or arms, as well as general strength and stamina. Examples of such skills include jumping, throwing, climbing, running, skipping, or kicking. Fine motor skills involve the use of small muscles in the arms, hands, and fingers, and are supported by advancements in perception. Examples of such skills include stringing beads, scrambling, cutting, or drawing. Fine motor skills enable children to perform a variety of self-help tasks, such as using utensils or dressing themselves. These children must have acquired control over movement and muscles to be able to kick the ball. At the same time, the child also depends on vision to determine the location and direction in which to kick the ball, and on hearing the instruction from the peer or caregiver. As children move through the school-age years, their bodies and minds become capable of increasingly more complex movement patterns and experiences. Children's motor abilities develop as a result of physical development and growth. As their bodies mature over time, children progressively strengthen their muscles and become able to better control their bodies. Skill mastery and development, however, are also the result of brain growth and development. Consider the child kicking a ball back and forth with a peer. So that's my report. Thank you, and once again, good morning to all.